I am Chelsea Palmer, aka Chisel, and this is Alex Salkeld, aka Doge, and this is part 2 of the Nakamoto one-on-one sessions where we are summarizing the sections of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin Whitepaper in little chunks. So today we're looking at transactions, and Satoshi defines an electronic coin, and this is like an existing concept before Bitcoin. Just what an electronic coin online is a chain of digital signatures which also act as a chain of ownership, which payees can look through and verify where that electronic coin has been held before. But before this introduction of Bitcoin, it was not possible to confirm that a transacted coin wasn't being double spent. Can you define a double spend?
So a double spend, just like it sounds, it's when you spend the same amount twice, which should not be possible with money. When you go buy something from someone, they need to be sure that this money is not going to, the same piece of money was not given to 2 other people or 3 other people or as many other people. And that's kind of this problem that all electronic money systems in the past had to solve, and none of them could.
So, with double spending, the previous solution to this that people had come up with was to just create a trusted central authority, which Satoshi calls a mint, kind of parallel to banks and the centralized currency we are familiar with. And this trusted centralized authority had to review and approve all transactions. So we had this manual approach to preventing double spends from entering the system. But this puts a lot of control in very few hands, which is a huge problem. Can you kind of explain more, like why that's a problem?
Well, in general, authorities always have more power than the people they're in charge of, and which means they get to make the decision in the end. So when you can have as many rules as you want, if you have an authority that decides what happens when the rule is broken, or if the rule is broken, then the authority really has control and the rules don't quite matter as much.
That definitely makes sense. So Satoshi then shows us in transactions that another way to prevent this double spending without engaging a trusted third party model would require all of the transactions in a system to be publicly announced and for the participants in that system to set up some sort of orderly fashion of processing them. So I know Satoshi kind of explains how the order of transactions is important. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so it's really important to know when a transaction happened, because if you can only figure out which one was first, you don't need to worry about anything that comes after. So instead of solving the entire double spend problem, there could have been a few solutions to how to fix a double spend problem. And in this version, Satoshi goes with, as long as you can prove which one happened first, you can ignore the others. So that way, whatever's next is just ignored, and you don't need to know which one was the double or which one was the original. You just need to say whichever one we see first, that's the one that counts.
And this is something that matches up really well with kind of the nature, or the tools that the internet had already given us for immediacy and stuff. It becomes something that fits well with computing logic insofar as it's just the state of the network at any given time that's important, not trying to manually verify pieces of it, namby-pamby. So thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.